Imagine this. You spend your life striving to be good, kind, selfless, morally upright. You follow the rules, suppress your desires, and sacrifice for others, believing this is the path to virtue. But one day, a chilling doubt creeps in. What if goodness is a cage? What if every act of supposed morality is just a desperate bid for approval, a way to quiet the gnawing fear that you are, at your core, unworthy? Friedrich Nietzsche saw this lie festering beneath Western morality. He called it slave morality, a system where weakness masquerades as virtue, where resentment disguises itself as righteousness. The harder you try to be good, the more you betray your own power. So here's the unsettling question. What if the pursuit of goodness is the very thing keeping you weak? The answer will shatter everything you've been taught. The truth is, our obsession with being good isn't natural, it's manufactured. Nietzsche traced it back to centuries of religious and cultural conditioning, where morality was weaponized to control. The meek called their weakness humility, the fearful labeled their compliance obedience, and the powerless rebranded their resentment as justice. This inversion, Nietzsche argued, was a psychological coup, a way for the oppressed to dominate their oppressors in spirit, even as they remain chained, but the trap runs deeper. Carl Jung warned of the shadow, the suppressed desires and instincts we deny in our quest for virtue. The more we reject our raw and filtered selves, the more those forces twist into guilt, self-loathing, or passive aggression. Society rewards the mask of niceness, but beneath it festers a quiet rage, the unspoken truth that no one is truly selfless. So ask yourself, who benefits from your endless guilt? Who gains when you shrink yourself to fit inside their moral cage? The answer is coming, and it will demand rebellion. This moral masquerade doesn't just distort individuals, it warps society. Look around. The most virtuous are often the most exhausted, the most judgmental, the most trapped in cycles of performative sacrifice. Meanwhile, true vitality, the raw, creative force that drives art, discovery, and self-overcoming, is stifled under the weight of collective shame. Cognitive science reveals the toll. When we act out of obligation, rather than authentic desire, our brains register it as coercion, breeding resentment. Cultural norms reinforce this, equating suffering with nobility and pleasure with sin. But Nietzsche saw the horrifying result, a world of half people, too afraid of their own shadows to ever taste true freedom. The question isn't whether you're good, it's whether you're alive. And if not, what are you sacrificing for? The clock is ticking. The way out is closer than you think. The escape begins with a single terrifying act. Stop asking for permission. Nietzsche's Bermensch does not beg society to validate his worth. He creates it. This isn't about cruelty or selfishness, but about ruthless honesty. What do you value? Not your parents, your religion, or your guilt, but you? History's greatest iconoclasts, artists, philosophers, revolutionaries, all shared one trait. They rejected moral hand-me-downs. Van Gogh painted madness into beauty. Kafka exposed the absurdity of bureaucratic goodness. They didn't follow rules, they redefined them. Your turn. Start small. Say no when you mean no. Desire without apology. Watch as the old guilt trembles. This is how chains break, not with a roar, but with a series of quiet, unshakable "I will not" s. The path is yours alone. Walk it, the final revelation. It's not what you expect. Here is the secret that will either liberate or devastate you. Good and evil are illusions. They are stories told to children, to keep them obedient, to keep them small. Nietzsche's hammer strikes hardest here. There is only power and the will to wield it. Not power over others, but power over yourself, the courage to face existence without the crutch of morality. You've been taught that suffering is noble, that sacrifice is sacred. But what if suffering is just suffering? What if the only sin is denying your own potential? The greatest lie ever sold is that you must earn your right to exist. You don't. You are already worthy, not because you're good, but because you are. This is the final rebellion, to live beyond judgment, to create your own meaning, to stand in the fire of your desires and call it holy. Now, what will you do with your freedom?